Hello everyone, my name is Wally, and today I'll be doing an overview on how we can use SNORT 3.0 as an IDS, an intrusion detection system on a DHCP gateway and web server. For this exploration, we'll be using both open and non-open source tools. By the end of this video, I hope to demonstrate how powerful the SNORT 3 program is. It is an easy-to-use tool that you can incorporate into your daily cyber forensic activities. In today's agenda, we will look at the toolset used in our example. We will see the system architecture of the network. We will locate the web server, the gateway, and the client computers on a system block diagram. We're going to validate if SNORT was installed correctly, and we'll also confirm that the loaded SNORT rules self-validates. In the web server attack scenario, we'll see how the Nmap tool can be used to perform a brute force attack on a web server's login. We'll also look at the output from SNORT and see how the detections are flagged. Finally, on the gateway attack scenario, we will first look at how SNORT can be used to detect ICMP traffic through the gateway. We'll then move on and take a quick look at the plugin OpenAppID and its usage to detect non-approved applications through the gateway. For the toolset used, several are open source and some are non-open source. This includes SNORT 3.0, OpenApp plugin, the Apache web server, Wireshark to do sniffing of the packets, Nmap to perform the brute force hacking. We'll use VM Player Evaluation 15, Ubuntu 18.04 VMware image, and the Kali Linux 2020 VMware image. Our system architecture comprises of a gateway, an Apache web server, a client computer, and an external attack laptop. There will be two separate network domains, an internal one and an external one. The gateway will be issuing DHCP licenses to everyone on the internal network. The Apache web server will have login credentials enabled. In addition, a client computer will be on the internal network. A Kali Linux laptop will be on the outside network to simulate an external attack actor. We will have two attack scenarios in our exploration. In the first attack scenario, we will show how an attacker from the outside can compromise the login authentication system of a web server. In the second attack scenario, we'll show how SNORT can detect ICMP traffic going across the gateway. In addition, with the use of OpenAppID, we can detect Layer 7 activities that are not approved for daily corporate environments. But more on that later. First, we need to make sure SNORT is properly installed on the DHCP gateway. To accomplish this, we need to issue the following command at the Linux command prompt. We type in snort tac uppercase V, and we see from the output that version 3.0.1 is indeed installed on this gateway. We also note that there's a bunch of plugins also installed. Next, we need to verify that the SNORT rules are properly loaded and it validates. To do that, we type in snort tac/c /user /local /etc /snort, another /snort.lua, and then we let it run for a little while. And you can tell from the outputs that many things are installed, but finally, at the conclusion, SNORT is successfully validated with the configuration with the rules it has. So thus we conclude that SNORT is properly installed on this gateway. Let us now quickly examine the Apache web server VM. Here we can see the web authentication system is turned on. We have preset the username being equal to web, as well as the password also web. Now if we hit the escape key, we can see that the server responds back with it being protected. Now we're going to go and take a look at the gateway. I'll bring up the gateway window here for a second. And now we're going to launch SNORT to monitor the traffic going across it. In order to accomplish this task, we type a very long command in its window. Now I already have it up, but I'll quickly just tell you what it is. It's sudo snort tech c /user /local /etc /snort /snort.lua tech capital R /user /local /etc /snort /rules /local rules tech I for the interface, and you can see it's ENS34 in this example, tech A alert fast, tech S 65535, tech K none, tech L, now this is the log directory and file /var /log /snort, and then here I'll press enter to keep it going. Right now you can see that it is indeed in continuous monitoring mode. Now I'll bring up Kali, and with Kali Linux, what we have on the right side is Wireshark. On the left side, it's the Kali Linux prompt. Here, I already launched Wireshark to sniff the packets on the Ethernet port. Now, in Kali, we'll launch Nmap. Now, Nmap has a built-in scripting capability. Nmap will try to use as many user ID password combinations as much as possible to gain login credential. Right now, here we'll execute it. I already had it loaded up as in previous. Sudo nmap tech script http tech brute tech p 80 is the port 192.168.100.21. That is the web server's address. Now we'll let it run. It's going to take a few minutes, 1 or 2 minutes, to actually find the answer. But you can see that there's streaming traffic going across, and I have a filter on get packets, and it's finding them. We'll take a look at the gateway. Remember that we have on the gateway I had snort running, and you can see that Nmap is making snort go crazy. So you'll see a ton of packets here. When it stops, we'll examine it closer, but let's go back to Kali and wait for the answer. You can see that packets are still streaming. Wiresharks are catching it. And give it a minute or two here. There we go. And it has found the credentials. If you take a look at the output of the Kali Nmap, you can see that it found the username being web and the credentials being web. If we go back and take a look at the gateway, we can see the output, and we could see that login attempted on the web server. So indeed, both Wireshark captured the get packets, but more importantly, Snort has been able to identify the packets going out to the web server as potential hacking attempts. Now we'll use Snort to detect when a computer inside the internal network tries to reach out to an external website where he or she shouldn't be. We'll first run Snort to detect some simple ICMP traffic. Here I'll switch to the gateway. And as you can see, I have the snort command as in previous example. Here I won't re-announce it, but just say the major change is in the Ethernet port. Now here I'll execute it. And we notice that now it's in continuous monitoring mode. I'll switch to the computer that is inside the network, the client computer, and I'll type in ping www.google.com. Very, very simple. Now if I hit Control C, I can see Snort caught a bunch of ICMP traffic. Right. So we know that the Snort is running. Now we'll take a look at Open App ID. Open App ID from Cisco helps improve application awareness by allowing Snort user to detect, monitor, and manage application usage on their networks. In our example, we'll use the Open App ID as a sensor for catching non-approved application usage, such as going to Facebook or Twitter website in a strict corporate environment. In addition, App ID can be used to catch access to malicious website so that the gateway can prevent malware deploying web server from being accessed. Now, in our example, we'll use something fairly simple to try to access Facebook and Twitter. We'll use the wget command, facebook.com. And we see that it is executed. Next, we'll try wget twitter.com. And we also see that it executes. Now, I'll take a look back at the gateway, and if I Control C it, I'll stop Snort, but now I'll examine its log file. And so I've already had it typed up. We'll sudo cat /var/log/snort /app id _stats.log. And when I execute this, I see that it has caught all the Facebook and Twitter access. Thus, with Open App ID and Snort, we can detect when users on the network are going to specific sites they shouldn't be. Well, that concludes our exploration of SNORT 3 and Open App ID in protecting a DHCP gateway and a web server. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.